everyone, wishing you all a very happy new day. Perhaps in every girl's life, everyone longs to be cared for and loved in the most sincere way. Na, like many others, doesn't need sweet words. For her care is sometimes just the smallest things. And the moment Alex showed concern for two NAs came naturally, like a habit formed after many years of being together. Just a small gesture, a very subtle attention, but enough to make Tana smile and not hide her happiness. Few people know that behind that simple moment lies a long journey with ups and downs, misunderstandings and challenges that they have overcome together. This video will bring you closer to those simple yet warm moments where affection is expressed through quiet care. And happiness comes from seemingly small things. Perhaps it is moments like these that offer the answer to the fulfilling life many people are searching for. Watch the whole video to find out. Torna's happiness at that moment didn't come from the value of the gift, but from the feeling of being understood and cared for at the right time. When Alex wheeled the new motorbike out into the yard, Tulna paused briefly before she could ask. Alex smiled softly, his voice low and slow. I noticed you've been using your old one for a long time, and it's inconvenient carrying the child these days. With this, you'll feel more at ease. Toyna looked at the motorbike, then turned to look at Alex. In that moment, she said nothing, only nodded slightly. But Alex knew that behind that calm gaze was a happiness spreading very slowly. Tuna said softly, I didn't say anything ... but you noticed. Alex just smiled. I just noticed. There are things that don't need to be said. He didn't say much, only gently reminded Tuna to be careful on the road. It was that simple act of care that warmed her heart to Tuna's. Joy didn't erupt wildly, but settled deeply. It was a feeling of being understood, of being cared for in a quiet but fulfilling way. She gently stroked the bicycle seat, as if touching a sense of security she hadn't felt in a long time. She suddenly thought, sometimes happiness is simply having someone who always notices the things you haven't had a chance to say before that joy could subside. Henry, her little son, only a year and a half old, toddled out, his father picking him up. Alex bent down, placed the tiny new shoes at his son's feet, and gently said, Come on, let's see if they fit, my son. Henry didn't fully understand his father's words, just babbling his eyes wide as he looked at the new shoes. When they were placed on the ground, the little boy took his first wobbly steps, giggling and making innocent sounds that brightened the whole house. Tune laughed, turning to Alex. Look, he's so happy. Alex bent down, extending his arms to cradle his son. Just seeing you smile like that is enough. Tuna stood there, silently watching the father and son. In that very ordinary moment, her heart softened. No need for grand gestures, no need for distant promises, just seeing her son grow up surrounded by love, seeing the man beside her silently, providing for the family for two. That was the most complete happiness. Perhaps. It is these simple moments that linger the longest in each person's heart. That afternoon was unusually quiet. Henry slept soundly in his room, his breathing even making the whole house seem to slow down. The midday sun gently fell on the dining table, where Alex and Tuna sat opposite each other. The aroma of grilled chicken lingered in the air, not too strong, but enough to evoke the warm feeling of a true home. Alex gently tore off pieces of chicken, placing the tenderest parts into Tuna's bowl. He did it so naturally, as if he had known it for a long time. Eat up, it won't taste good if it gets cold. Tuna looked at the bowl of chicken in front of her, then at Alex. She smiled softly. You always remember such little things. Alex didn't answer immediately, only looked at her for a moment before saying slowly, because I was afraid you were tired and didn't say anything. That statement made Tuna's heart sink. She lowered her head, eating more slowly, as if to hide the subtle emotions welling up inside her. For years she had been used to fending for herself, She used to hurried meals, used to no one noticing whether she was tired or happy. Yet now, just a simple sentence from Alex was enough to soften her heart. She spoke slowly as if it were a slip of the tongue. Sometimes I think, if I hadn't met you that day, my life would have been very different. Alex looked up, paused for a moment, then replied, "Me too. Phew. I've learned what a true family is." She looked up, asking softly, "Have you ever felt that life... is too ordinary?" Alex smiled, his eyes very gentle. "This ordinary life is happiness for me too." Na's nose stung with emotion. She suddenly understood that the happiness she had wasn't about flashy or ostentatious things, but about the feeling of being with someone who truly cared. Alex didn't say flowery words, but every action, every glance made her feel cherished. Alex placed his hand gently on hers. "Don't worry too much. I'm here. Just be yourself." Those seemingly small words made Nhat feel she had chosen the right person to walk the long road with. She looked at Alex, a genuine happiness welling up inside her. In that moment, Nhat clearly felt a peace she had never experienced before. Meeting Alex, for her, wasn't just about meeting a husband, but about finding a place where she could stop, breathe slowly, and be vulnerable without fear. The afternoon passed quietly. The grilled chicken had cooled, but in Na's heart, happiness warmed little by little, very deep, very real, and enough to make her believe she had chosen the right person to spend the rest of her life with. The moon had begun to rise. Alex sat beside Na, and they remained silent for a long time. The silence didn't leave anyone feeling empty. On the contrary, it was so complete that no words were needed. Alex spoke softly, his voice low and warm, being, "With you, I feel everything is lighter." Na turned to look at him, smiling very gently. "Me too. Just having you here makes me feel safe." Alex gently held Na's hand, not tightly, just enough for her to feel his presence. "I don't promise you grand things, but I promise to always be here." Na nodded, her eyes slightly stinging. "That's enough. For me, that's happiness." They sat together for a while longer, watching the last rays of sunlight slowly fade. No need for further affirmation, no need for distant promises. Alex and toi. Na's happiness was evident in that very moment when they both knew that, amidst life's many changes, they had found someone to stay with, to share with, and to move forward together.